Something that could shift the balance of the Cold War.
It's Elwood. Welcome back, my not so serious gamers. Finally got some time to test out the beta, so it's time to dive in head first, all guns blazing, ready to heat up for this Cold War. I saw there's some new game types, Fireteam Dirty Bomb being one of them, so I had to dive straight in. This didn't go too well, as you can see right here. It turns out, no matter how much Warzone practice I got, nothing was to prepare me for the onslaught I was just about to get myself into. After we broke free from the onslaught, I was then able to get one kill and then shortly followed by another. I then realised my teammate was down and had to revive him as we needed to take over C and hopefully detonate it. We were successful, woo! As I slowly started to get my head around this new game type, things started to fall into place and I was able to get some kills once again. I really like how this reminds me of Warzone, as you have to parachute in. However, with a nice little twist, you have to collect uranium and drop it off at the bomb sites to then detonate the bombs. I really enjoyed this game type as it's a cross between Battle Royale with the parachuting in and the armour, and also normal objective game types. It can get super manic when you're on the last bomb, however this just adds to the thrill and the fun of it because there's 10 teams all in the same struggle that you're in, and it's quite an even slaughter of death. As I've only had a few days to play Cold War, this is just my first impressions. Firstly, I think the graphics are good. I've heard it's a visual downgrade from Modern Warfare, although without playing that, I can't be one to judge. Odd maps do have poorly sized bushes, but I'll come to that later. The main issue I want to address in the beta, unfortunately it's when playing my favourite game type, Dirty Bomb, is that there is continuous frame dips throughout the game. I've put my settings on low and on high, and I've changed it continuously trying to stop this. I can't, there doesn't seem to be anything I do. There are whole server stutters. After doing a bit of research, I found out this is quite a common thing and quite a lot of people have it, so it doesn't seem to be a problem with my rig. It seems like there's a problem with the servers or something a bit deeper behind the scenes. Hopefully this will be one of the main things that they can fix before the main game is released. Apart from that, I found this game type to be breathtaking and full of mind-exploding madness that will overwhelm the senses in a mad rush to get dirty. Rucker and Alpine are the two Dirty Bomb maps that you get to play on. They're both really well coloured, spaced out, and just great for this game type. I can't wait to see if they have more maps for the game release. Within the beta we get a chance to check out some new maps for the core multiplayer mode. These maps are Miami, Crossroads, Cartel and Armada. I never liked Armada when I first started off, however I sorely regret that because I now love it. I think this was simply down to my lack of skill as a COD player and the fact that I was being sniped left, right and centre. However, once I got used to the map, this has now become my favourite as I seem to just destroy on it. There are a few boats dotted around the map which are linked up via zip lines. This makes it a really fun and quick way to travel around the map. You can get games where snipers can camp at the end of them or people with shotguns, which can get very frustrating, but if you just take a different zip line and come up and flank them, I'm sure you can take them down and continue to enjoy the map. Next up we have Miami. I don't want to bore you guys and go into loads of detail of what I do and don't like about the map. The one thing I will say, it can be dark in areas, however they do have a way around this as they have a flashlight attachment for your guns. This can be very handy for this map. Apart from that, I just think it's quite a good all-round map. I've only played the map about 3 times, bearing in mind this was my second game, but I have found that the spawn locations can swap around quite a lot, which can get quite frustrating, especially when trying to focus on an objective as they tend to come from every angle, although this still isn't my least favourite map. The next map up is Crossroads. This is probably my least favourite map out of all of the ones in the beta so far, mostly because there seems to be an unending supply of tanks always against us that seems to just rain fire upon us, and the never-ending snipers dotted around everywhere around the map. but if you can stay inside and nip around all the huts quite well, then it is quite a fun map. By far, it's still not the worst COD map ever. I still do enjoy it, but it can be quite challenging when getting used to the game. Finally, we have Cartel. I'm very torn on this map, as some games I thoroughly enjoy it, other games I find it frustrating as hell. Unfortunately, there are a lot of shoulder height bushes that get in your way a lot, and this can be very frustrating to say the least. However, this can work in your advantage, but I find it being a lot more of a hindrance than it is a help. Then there's the grenades. I love the fact there's a wild card so you can have double the amount of grenades. However, on this map I find that you do get continuous grenade spams, which can make it very unbearable at times. Overall, I can love this game. After overcoming the network issues later on in the day, the game began to run a lot smoother. This enhanced the playability immensely, having me grinning ear to ear like I was a kid 10 years ago when Blops 1 first came out. This was the only COD I truly enjoyed the multiplayer of. Dominating most games helped this a lot. This was possible because me and my closest friends were obsessed with Black Ops 1. My passion for COD started with Call of Duty 2, but I fell head over heels for the game with World at War Zombies, and also for the MP40, which I'm sure is like many of you, and I played Zombies ever since, pretty much every night after school till silly hours in the morning. My passion began to grow again for multiplayer when I downloaded Warzone last week. I thoroughly enjoyed this, but I felt Battle Royale was missing an aspect. I couldn't put my finger on what it was, but Treyarch did. They did this with the dirty bomb. This by far will keep me entertained all the nights I don't have time for zombies. What, me? No time for zombies? I know. But when you just want to do those quick half an hour games, this will be perfect. Unless you end up getting killed by the no-scope kings, which seem to be coming out in force in Cold War. But, you know, they're never going to leave this game, are they? Talking about zombies, I believe this new version of zombies will be what all us hardcore zombie fans have been waiting for. I mean, the idea of kill streaks in zombies sounds very far-fetched, but hey, Gobblegums did in the first place, and they ended up being amazing, so I'm sure these will too. And there's just so much more that this zombies has to offer, with bigger maps, new guns, and hopefully some revamped perks. A lot of people are hating the fact that the first map is going to be part of this new creation. However, I think it's amazing, as I'm a big fan of the original map, as I probably played it for more hours than I've played any other map. Okay, I take that back. I'm trying to do Go Rod Crovey 2-player at the moment, and I'm slowly pulling all my hair out. As I lay in bed tossing and turning, wondering if it's my hat that's keeping me awake or the fact that I feel my video is missing just something else. I realise my body is craving some Cold War, as I've spent all weekend editing. Elwood, go play Elwood, play with us Elwood. I jumped out of bed and jumped back on the COD. I then discovered 2 new maps seemed to be available. Woo! Super hype, I neglected Dirty Bomb and dove straight into the core game types. The first map I got to test was Moscow. It's a great world-spaced map, it's very fast-paced and I really enjoyed it, apart from the dreaded lag was back with a vengeance. I almost turned it off as it was very late, but then Satellite finally won a vote. Super stoked, I ran in all guns blazing. This worked really well. I noticed the map had a few large areas that I kept getting gunned down across the mapping, so I added a suppressor. This helped me immensely. I really enjoyed these maps, and I'm disappointed I couldn't fully put them to the test. I hope you all enjoyed this video and learnt a little bit about Cold War without me spoiling too much of the fun. I think this will be the best COD since Blops 1. If you do or don't agree with me, I'd love to hear your comments down below. If you don't agree, definitely let me know your views, as I'd really appreciate to hear other people's views on this game as well. That could be anything from the best map to your best gun to the most preferred perk in the whole game. Overall, I think the game could still do with some improvements. However, I'm really enjoying it, and I haven't enjoyed a COD like this in a very long time, so that's going to mean something. To top it all off, in my very last game, I was able to get best play. Yeah boy! Even if it really wasn't that impressive. Mad respects to all of you who made it to the end of the video. Give yourself a massive pat on the back for that. Hell yeah, baby. Smash that like button. Peace.
Give Mr.
Serious.
whatever he wants. I know you won't fail us.